We're going to be discussing how search engines work. In spite of this being such a fundamental topic, it is surprising that a lot of current SEO professionals don't have insights on this. This module will cover the various elements of search engine operation, crawling, indexing, and ranking, how Google and other search engines are innovating with respect to SERP or search engine results pages. We need to first understand how search engines work. This is explained very well in this 3-minute video by Matt Cutts, head of Google's web spam team.
Hi, my name is Matt Cutts. I'm an engineer in the quality group at Google, and I'd like to talk today about what happens when you do a web search. The first thing to understand is that when you do a Google search, you aren't actually searching the web. You're searching Google's index of the web, or at least as much of it as we can find. We do this with software programs called spiders. Spiders start by fetching a few web pages. Then they follow the links on those pages and fetch the pages they point to, and follow all the links on those pages and fetch the pages they link to, and so on, until we've indexed a pretty big chunk of the web, many billions of pages stored across thousands of machines. Now, suppose I want to know how fast a cheetah can run. I type in my search, say cheetah running speed, return. Our software searches our index to find every page that includes those search terms. In this case, there are hundreds of thousands of possible results. How does Google decide which few documents I really want? By asking questions, more than 200 of them, like, how many times does this page contain your keywords? Do the words appear in the title? In the URL? Directly adjacent? Does the page include synonyms for those words? Is this page from a quality website, or is it low quality, even spammy? What is this page's page rank? That's a formula invented by our founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, that rates a web page's importance by looking at how many outside links point to it and how important those links are. Finally, we combine all those factors together to produce each page's overall score and send you back your search results, about half a second after you submit your search. At Google, we take our commitment to delivering useful and impartial search results very seriously. We don't ever accept payment to add a site to our index, update it more often, or improve its ranking. Let's take a look at my search results. Each entry includes a title, a URL, and a snippet of text to help me decide whether this page is what I'm looking for. I also see links to similar pages, Google's most recent stored version of that page, and related searches that I might want to try next. And sometimes, along the right and at the top, I'll see ads. We take our advertising business very seriously as well, both our commitment to deliver the best possible audience for advertisers and to strive to only show ads that you really want to see. We're very careful to distinguish your ads from regular search results. And we won't show you any ads at all if we can't find any that we think will help you find the information you're looking for, which in this case, the cheetah's top running speed, is more than 60 miles an hour. Thanks for watching. I hope this made Google a little bit more understandable.
So in summary, this is how the search engines works. Crawling, indexing, and ranking are the backbone of search engine technology. So what are crawlers? What do they do? In the 90s, all webmasters needed to do was submit the address of a page to the various engines which would send a spider to crawl that page, extract links to other pages from it, and return information found on the page to be indexed. Today's crawlers are more advanced and do not rely on humans to submit pages, rather automatically navigate pages frequently, the frequency depending on that of change of pages, among other things. Also known as web spiders, bots, or scutters, crawlers are generally multi-threaded and often run in a distributed environment employing thousands of individual computers to crawl the web. When search engines web crawlers visit a web page, it reads the visible text, hyperlinks, and content to the various tags used in the site, such as keyword-rich meta tags. Using the information gathered from the crawler, a search engine will then determine what the site is about and index the information. So, when does this activity happen?
Right. So, crawling is something which happens all the time. It's really a 24 by 7 activity. And the good thing is that it happens 24 by 7 because there's so many web pages being created all the time, right? And for a user to see the most updated search engine result page, it is important that the crawling happens all the time. Yeah.
A lot of site owners want their site to be crawled more often. How does one do that?
Yeah, the most sure short way of ensuring that crawlers come back again and again and more frequently is to keep your site updated. And the easiest way to do that is to use a blog because uh, you can keep on updating things. You can keep you can always have your a separate site where your where all the information about your services and products is mentioned, which is more like a static set of pages, and you can have a separate blog which you update regularly, and this ensures that it's dynamic and crawlers come back again and again.
What does that crawlers actually see?
Yeah, so it's interesting that although you may have a lot of flash and images etc. on your web page, what the crawlers see at the end of the day is only text, right? So it doesn't know that the a particular image is, say, the image of Amitabh Bachchan, unless you actually say that this is an image of Amitabh Bachchan. So you need to have a lot of text, a lot of plain text on your site. Yes. So this is, in fact, if you go to Google, you'll see the option where the part which is, you'll see a topic, uh, a link for the cached results, and that's how you can actually see the cache of any site.
So, in summary, this is how a search engine works: crawling, indexing, and ranking. Now, let's look at the next stage, which is indexing. Whatever data is ready by the crawler, the index reads it and stores it for further use. So, is that why the searches are so fast?
Yes, so that is the reason why you get this. You see that search results in a jiffy, because the whenever you do a search, the Google doesn't have to really explore the entire pages present on the web at any point of time. It just has to go to that specific bucket of pages, that specific index which is relevant for that query, and then pull out the best results for you. Yes, so that's the reason why.
What about Google Instant?
So Google Instant is actually, so let's just show what Google Instant is all about. So let's just say if you're doing any typical search, right? So this is a search for buy 32-inch LCD TV, and let's say if you notice that once when I from LCD TV to LCD TV online, the results are changing even without us actually pressing on the search button. And that this is what Google Instant is all about. And yes, this is possible only because of more efficient indexing which is happening by Google at the backend, because unless that happens you can't have results flowing in so fast.
Some site owners complain about sites not getting indexed. Why does this happen?
Yeah, so one of the main reasons are is on the technical side, which is you have a lot of flash on your site. A lot of your site is being made by using old technology, a lot of JavaScript, because of which the crawling process is hindered. And if a site is not crawled, is definitely not going to be indexed. So those are some reasons why which prevents sites from being crawled, and hence prevents them from being indexed.
Search providers use complex mathematical equations called algorithms to rank web pages. These algorithms make calculations about the relevance of words on web pages in relation to search queries, or the perceived importance and linked popularity of websites. The full set of ranking parameters is discussed in a separate module later. SEO professionals are not entirely sure how these algorithms work. In fact, search algorithms are a closely guarded trade secret. If they were made available to the public, we would see a lot more websites trying to find ways to exploit them in order to gain better search rankings. So, which is the most valuable parameter?
Yeah, and so this is a good question, because there are a lot of misconceptions about and a lot of things which people tell about search engine ranking parameters, right? But the truth is that at no point of time can Google or any other search engine actually list down the weightages of all ranking parameters, and hence it's not really possible for even an expert to say that this particular parameter has a 30% weightage or 25% weightage. So of course you can make some broad as an expert you see some broad trends, like social media signals becoming the parameter associated with social media signals becoming more prominent, or the fact that content as a whole is really determining which plays a very big part in determining which pages are getting on the top. But beyond that you can't really uh, talk about the exact weightages of search engine ranking parameters.
So, can an experienced SEO professional guarantee that the site would get on the first result?
The answer is no. Even the most experienced SEO professionals cannot guarantee that for the list of words that are important for your business, you come on the top. And the reasons are fairly obvious. One is that you don't know what your competition is doing. You don't know how much of resources your competitors are putting into the SEO effort. And yes, at the back end there's always experimentation happening with respect to which Google is doing, and algorithms keep on changing. So you can't really guarantee anyone that his site is going to be on the top on
How,
the first result.
how do people stay and maintain the top ranks in that case?
Yes, so the answer really is to keep on observing what is happening from the on the algorithm side, and keep on observing what your competitors are doing and try to do it better. There really is no other way in which you can continue to be at the top of SERPs. So we're going to look at some recent trends in search engine result pages and see what is happening in this area. A lot of activity is being done here simply to differentiate. Uh, Search engines use this to differentiate themselves from other search engine companies, and also to make their results better and more useful for the visitor.
The old the old vanilla flavored 10 blue links are being replaced by a mixture of result types and file types. So be prepared to see images, videos, news results, top quotes, local results, and more, beginning to fill out the search engine results pages. Let's look at this video from Google on evolution of search and the way search stands as of now.
Our goal is actually to make improvements to search that just answer the user's information need, get them to their answer faster and faster, so that there's almost a seamless connection between their thoughts and their information needs and the search results that they find. So Google was started based upon algorithms that Larry and Sergey developed at Stanford called the PageRank algorithm. And they used that algorithm to indeed build a very novel way of searching the web. What was happening at that point was there was this huge explosion of content on the web, a bigger explosion of information than had ever happened before, and it was getting increasingly hard to find the piece of content you wanted.
In the beginning, we didn't have any advertisements at all. And as we went to add advertisements, it was very important to us that those ads be as relevant to the search as the search results themselves. It was also very important to us that they be distinguished from the search results.
There was a clear separation between ads and search from the very earliest times. Search had one goal and one goal alone: to provide the most relevant information for the user in the fastest time possible.
In 1999 and 2000, we had a search engine that worked wonderfully, and it worked wonderfully for web pages. One of the things we saw was as Google got better and better, users expected more and more from it. They didn't want just web pages. They wanted the best possible information available, be that a picture or a book. And so we started looking at how we could search new and other forms of content. And image search was the first of those, because we know that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And there were a lot of times when people would say, what is turquoise? We got to search, what is turquoise? And there's no way to answer that question without a picture.
When September 11th happened, we as Google were tailing our users. Our users were searching for New York Twin Towers, and our results had nothing relevant, nothing related to the sad events of May. Because our index was crawled a month earlier, and of course there was no news in that index. So we placed links to all the news organizations like CNN right on our front page saying, please visit those sites to get the news of the day because our search is failing. My friend Krishna and I were attending a conference at the time, and Krishna started thinking about the problem, saying if we could crawl news quickly and we can provide multiple points of view about the same story to our users, wouldn't it be amazing? That was the birth of Google News specialized search service.
Well, in 2002, one of the trends we started to see was that the web had become a lot more rich. More images, more video, different kinds of content. And we started to realize that our users expected Google to be able to find something if it existed on the web. They didn't care if it was text or a web page or news. They wanted it all in one place. And so we came up with this notion of universal search. The idea that you could just go to Google and no matter what type of content it was, we could find it. One of the challenges that came up in universal search is that we were really comparing apples and oranges.
You can imagine these apples are web pages, and you can imagine an orange would be an image. When we look at ranking images, we know what the aspect ratio of an image is. How big is the image? How many pixels this image is? Is it a black and white image or a colored image? And all these signals are only relevant to images but are not relevant to web pages. And that's why universal search was such a hard task when we did it because the science was not fully developed.
We basically ended up putting things either on the top of the page, on the bottom of the page, or somewhere in the middle because we didn't have a finer grained way of looking at the relevance, especially across different media types.
And over the years, we developed our science tremendously. And today, we are beginning to place several kinds of information in multiple positions on our result page as our algorithms get better and better.
Our goal is to make it so that the improvement we make is so much what you wanted and fits so cleanly into the flow of what you're looking for that you almost don't notice that it's happening. And looking back at it, it seems obvious that that's the way it should have always been.
When you do need a specific bit of information, Google tries to provide you exactly that using our quick answers. For example, take sports scores. You kind of want to know what the score is right now. You want to know how tall is the Empire State Building.
Well, we want users to come to Google and get their information as quickly as they possibly can. And with Instant, you don't even have to type in your full thought. You don't have to hit enter. You can type in something like bike H, and we'll just show you the results right there before you've even finished your thoughts.
We are pushing the boundaries of how you actually fundamentally interact with the search engine itself. With search by image, you can actually use that image as an input for the search.
The truth is that our users need much more complex answers. My dream has always been to build the Star Trek computer. And in my ideal world, I would be able to walk up to a computer and say, hey, what is the best time for me to sow seeds in India, given that monsoon was early this year? And once we can answer that question, which we don't today, people will be looking for answers to even more complex questions. These are all genuine information needs, genuine questions that if we, Google, can answer, our users would become more knowledgeable and they would be more satisfied in their quest for knowledge.
Okay. So, how does this impact the life of an SEO professional?
Yeah, so this really makes the life of a SEO, the responsibilities of a SEO professional more complex, right? Because 7 or 8 years back, a SEO professional had to basically ensure that the search engine web pages are submitted in time and and that they are getting indexed. Today, because of the universal search concept, there are a lot more things that a search engine optimization SEO professional has to do, and he has to live with the fact that people are going to be reaching his site through various means. It could be from images, it could be from videos, it could be from a blog conversation, it could be from a tweet, and this is in fact for a small business. Sometimes this is a very welcome surprise that they can get to the top of search engine result pages, not in the by not focusing on the competitive web pages part, but on focusing on the other tabs which relate to pictures or which relate to videos, because there is limited competition there. So that's really how the profile of SEO person has changed.
Okay, so let's look at personalized search. Personalized search means that for the same search query, the results which person A sees is different from person B. Let's look at a video from firstwebdesign.com, which gives us more details on this feature.
This is David Binnicker, First Website Design and Visual Pro. Welcome to this short video on personalized search. There is an increasing tendency for search engines to return personalized results for our searches. This is personalized according to our location and also according to our previous searches and the links we have clicked on. This may result in some website owners to be misled on the positioning of their web pages on a search engine. When I provide a report on their website, I often find that they're in position 30 or 40 for a keyword, and this surprises them because they are certain that they're in position number one. This is because of personalized search. When they look on their computer for their keywords, on many occasions they click on their own website. The search engine is led to believe
Yeah. And this is really the third big area, right, where new things are happening, which is the Google Auto Suggest, and you'll see that it constantly plots you all the time to click on a query which is statistically more important, and that's what you see here in the image. And this was, although Auto Suggest uh, has been an active feature for quite some time. It's really started. People have really started noticing it after Google Instant, and you've seen a demo of that some time back. From the viewpoint of SEO or a search professional, you have to be again aware of the fact that uh, the people are going to be have a lot more choices as opposed to the earlier situation, and hence the competition for you and the effective CTR for you for the snippets that for of your web pages is going to be that much lower, right? So those were the three big changes when it comes to people doing search engine companies doing new things with their algorithms and with their SERPs. With this, we end the module of how search engines work.
Save.